So Ian, we've opened up the Northern Premier League Premier Division season with a 0-0 draw at Whitby Town. What did you think of that performance?
Yeah, it was an enjoyable 0-0 in that. Had a bit of everything in terms of the football on the pitch, but also off the pitch with a floodlight failure. The linesman receiving treatment, which added on 10 minutes additional time. We had a great chance where the keepers pulled off a great save. They've had a chance where they've hit the crossbar twice. So it was a 0-0 draw that was very entertaining and very enjoyable, and a bit of everything. It's a really important point. It's important when we're starting at a new level, a higher level, that you get your first point on the board. I felt unfortunately we were dealt a bad hand not playing Saturday and then having to do a long away trip on a Tuesday. Again, shows the character and the attitude and effort of the players to come up on Tuesday and put in a performance like that. Not only the 11 but the 4 came on, and obviously Jazz, who didn't come on. So really pleased to get a point. We've done it again in our way of doing it by getting a clean sheet, by defending well organised, hard work as a team. Yes, there's areas we need to be a little bit better at in possession. A couple of areas we need to be better out of possession, but loads of positives from that, and we've got his first point. Now we have to look forward to his first win.
So you mentioned clean sheet there. First one of the season already. Is survival going to be basically pinned on how many clean sheets we can get this year?
Success is going to be pinned on.
Okay, success. I'll be.
Yeah. I know, tongue in cheek there. I know you're saying that you're right, but we've got to change that mindset in that we want to be successful. And yes, people might say success is staying up, but not for us, not in that change room. It's a process of how can we be better on Saturday than we were tonight, and then how can we keep improving like we did last season. So success will be built on a foundation of our defensive resilience and discipline and organisation, how we keep clean sheets. But we have got the quality, and you saw that we've got much more strength and depth on the bench. Players who didn't even make the 16 would add value to that as well. So yeah, it's a great first point in this first game, and we'll look forward.
So well, obviously the disappointment is that not being able to score, though we did have a couple of chances. We do sometimes, when we're not playing too well, slip into having like 5 0-0s in a row and not scoring. We had that last year. Is that your only real concern coming out of this game, is not being able to get on the score sheet today?
No, it's away from home, and look, if we can go to Ashton and keep a clean sheet, that's an incredible performance, whether we score or not, against one of the best teams in the league on Saturday. But if you don't concede, you don't lose football matches, and we've got to have that. We have got more attacking power in our squad, so I'm confident the goals will come in open play and from close play situations. Tonight against a really good Whitby side, we didn't do that, but there's no worry or panic from me. We've got goals in our team, and I'm sure they'll come. But when you come away from home against a really established team like Whitby, your starting point is not conceding goals.
So at the end we had that incredible defending, the last ditch defending, and Townsend making a very good save as well. Is that just down to the spirit of the team and the fact they just don't give up, these lads, even when it looked like it was certainly going to be 1-0 to Whitby?
You don't need me to stand here and tell people who come and watch Touch Park Seals how hard these players work, how much fight and spirit and togetherness they have with them, and how much they want to do well for themselves but for each other. They're an incredible group of players, and as good as we've brought all these players in, I felt like that the starting 11 was players who got us into this position in their performances last year. It doesn't mean that those new players won't come in and be embedded in that starting 11, but I felt it was right tonight that the starting 11 was players from last season, and you saw why. And even when the 4 subs came on right at the end, you saw how they fit into our culture and our identity, and we want those type of players in our squad, because that's what we build our success on.
So next up Saturday we're away at Ashton. They caused the headline of the opening day by beating the favourites Gainsborough 3-0. How do we deal with them and try and get something out of that game, or even sneak a win?
Yeah, we went to watch Gainsborough Ashton on Saturday. We were impressed with both football clubs, impressed with the setup and the surface at Gainsborough. We were also impressed with the sort of ambitious clubs that were playing, and it only excited us when we left. So we'll have our thoughts on how we want to play and nullify their threats, and how maybe we can maximise our strengths. But it's brilliant. We've just got to go into it and embrace every opportunity, and every game's a challenge, but we worked so hard to get to this level, then we've got to enjoy it, and we've got to enjoy it by playing and putting in performances like tonight, and if we do that, then we'll be proud of them, and whatever the result, then so be it.
Thank you very much, Ian.
Cheers, Adam. Thank you.